Hey, I'm Scott Russell. Wanted to give a little encouragement here to keep going. The world is certainly taking some strange turns and things are not seeming to get better anytime soon. And I personally don't think it will change. We're going to see little changes, little things happen here and there, but I personally think it's important that we understand that where this is going, and we continue to prepare ourselves spiritually first, mentally and emotionally and physically for where this is going. You know, it's amusing to me that people put their hope in things like gold, silver, and I guess in reality, what else do they do? What else do we do? People have to have hope in something, but it's like looking at it and going, you've got to look at the bigger picture. You've got to look at the fact that these globalists know they're smart enough to have orchestrated this whole thing globally, but you don't think they're smart enough to have thought about gold, to have thought about silver, to have thought about digital currency. And I've done videos on this that you can look, if you're that interested, back in my feed. But digital currency is where they want it to go because it brings about that authoritarian control. The Bitcoins and the things like that, it's all going to come under your digital ID, your real ID in the US. So they're able to track everything you do and shut it off accordingly. The access to the internet and things like that. There's just so much they're doing. But yet you think they haven't thought about gold? They're just going to let everybody buy as much gold as they want and stockpile it and trade in gold with some like shadow economy of gold. Are you that naive? And that trusting of the system, that trusting of people that you think that that's where it's going to go? Really? And I think people don't want to face the reality of where this is going. Because it's bigger than them. I don't believe the world's ever seen what is about to unfold in front of us and what is unfolding in front of us. I don't even think the globalists understand the depth of what they've done. They know, but they have no clue of the chaos that they're about to cause. And as this thing unfolds, rich and poor alike are going to be faced with the same thing. As currency collapses, as the world and the society that we know around us collapses, as people are getting laid off in their droves, as people are losing their homes and their cars, and it's all just something off in the distance, isn't it? Until it comes and lands on our doorstep with someone that we know and someone we love and someone we care about. So what's the answers? We can all identify solutions and the problems. And in reality, I think it's in our spirituality. It's in knowing our faith. You know, it's funny in religion, they talk about faith. You need to have faith in God. How do you believe in something that you've never seen? How do you approach something that you've never seen? And it really comes down to love, doesn't it? Faith comes out of love. If you don't know that you're loved, if you don't know that you have value, to who? Well, you can think you've got value to yourself, and we try to do things to prove that to ourselves. But in reality, in trying, all we're doing is creating a religion of self. Anything I'm trying to do or trying not to do is self-made religion. It really becomes a case of becoming aware of the fact I'm loved. Surrendering to that love and allowing it to show me the way. And I think you'll find as things are unfolding in our world around us, I know, that as you become aware of how much you are loved by your Creator, and then when you feel that, it's something you can't control. It's something you can't influence. It's like the air around us. It's just there. And as we breathe in of that love and we start to understand that, gee, I'm loved, not because of what I do or don't do. There is no right or wrong. There's just love. And He loves you. God loves you. To me, that came through the love of Jesus. You know, religion makes an industry of sin, an industry of right and wrong, because again, they can control people there. But love looks beyond that and says, I love you. When true love is there, somebody does wrong to you, it's just an opportunity for love to express itself in a greater way. But when it's transactional love, when it's us trying, then or when somebody does something against us, well, I'll never speak to them again, I'll never do that again. Yeah, there does need to be boundaries. But when there's love, it doesn't change. True love, unconditional love never changes. God has an unconditional love for you, and He cares intimately about what happens with your future, with your family. Does that mean you won't have any changes to your way of life? No. It means no matter what you face, no matter what you walk through, love has got you. And sometimes it'll mean humbling ourselves and maybe having things happen in our life that we wouldn't have liked had it been our first option. But God loves you. You are loved. And I think for some people, as they lose their stuff and they lose their way of life and they lose their family, they lose their friends, they lose their identity in their work and in things that they've done, their money, they get faced with reality, and the reality of it is, can I be loved when I've got nothing? Yeah, you can, and you're going to find God in that. It's not going to be the tantrum where we can demand that we get what, if you loved me, God, why would this happen to me? No, you did it to yourself. Now you're playing victim mode and you want to blame God for it. God's there for you and he loves you. Let go. Follow the peace. So as we're ordering our lives for the trash that's unfolding in front of us, as we're watching the globalists destroy our planet, as we're watching as elections go in a crazy direction and people get voted back in that should never be anywhere near politics. But the reason they're there is because they're controllable. As we're watching our world come apart, your world doesn't have to come apart. The world around you might, but your world can be built on a rock, on a foundation of the love of God that's there for your life. And I think what we do then is peace comes and you follow the peace. Follow where the peace is taking you. Rest in that peace, and the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guide your path. If you don't know that, then I think the best place to start is just to sort of talk to him and just say, all right, God, if that's real, if you're real, if you don't know, so if you're real, let me find some peace that I can follow. You might be surprised. So anyway, don't think this is going back to normal. Normal has gone away. This world is coming unstitched, and it's a biblical and epic proportions. And I think we don't have to fear. We can walk in faith and love. Faith that comes from love. That's my message for today. It's there in you. God's spoken to you. It just may not be the way you want to hear it. Maybe it's time to get honest with ourselves. Time to get our lives where they know they need to be. Some of the stuff and the crap around our lives we know shouldn't be there. Flush our lives and walk in what the peace of God is. God be with you. God bless you and keep you safe.